Sometime in the mid-1980s, Husqvarna decided to develop a 50cc chassis that was designed to dominate the farm and ranch chainsaw segment. What they came up with was the Husqvarna 50. Somewhat based off of the successful Partner 500 and 5000 designs, Husqvarna engineered a platform that would utilize the successful Partner cylinders that were well known for their power and RPM output, but without the headaches inherent to the flawed chassis of the Partner that utilized both the crankcase and fuel tank in the same component. Okay? By separating the fuel from the crankcase, they eliminated the problem of boiling fuel in warmer climates, as well as addressing the poor recoil issues that were found on the Partner and the Partner was plagued by. The rest was historic. The Husqvarna 50 sold like gangbusters. Sometime around 1990, the 50 was updated with a 45mm piston and cylinder, bringing the displacement up to 51 cc's, thus calling it the 51. Also at this time, they introduced the 55, which upped the displacement even further to 53 cc's with the use of a 46mm piston and cylinder. A small amount of these newer variations of the saws could be had with a closed port cylinder as well. It was the infamous Partner 5000 Plus cylinder that used to be heavily used in 3-cube race classes and still is used today to a certain extent by many 3-cube race saw builders. Eventually the chassis became known as the 55 Rancher until the end of its run sometime around the year 2005. Over its 2-decade run, Husqvarna sold more of this chassis than any other saw in their long history, making it the company's flagship model, whether they would call it that or not. The popularity of the Husqvarna 50, 51, and 55 chainsaws tells the tale of a solid, professional construction chassis that appealed to homeowners, professional users, and racers alike. Parts and saw availability are still at the top of the list for anyone who looks. And with the dry weight of around 11.5 pounds, it is still a viable contender in today's 50cc market. For this reason, here on the Novice Lumberjack YouTube channel, I have decided to celebrate this chassis with a whack-off of great significance. I am inviting all builders to create a modified Husqvarna 55 Rancher, 51, or 50 to be used in a chainsaw competition to showcase what can be done with this wonderful little chassis. The rules are few and simple. Number 1. You must use a 50, 51, or 55 Husqvarna. Must use an open port cylinder. This is because the closed port cylinders are very difficult to find and would automatically increase success for any builder capable of finding one to use in this competition, and I don't want it to be that easy. You're free to modify your cylinder however you choose, as long as the cylinder was originally an open port cylinder. Okay? No alternative fuels. These saws were primarily firewood saws, and one would not expect a firewooder to be keeping methanol or nitrous on hand, and so we will stick with a basic gasoline setup. I will be using 40-to-1 mix in all saws. Number 4, will need to be set up to run a 20-inch 325 bar and chain. I will provide the bar and chain and everything, and just be sure that your saw already has a 325 sprocket installed. And number 5, if you want to modify the stock muffler, build a pipe, cut a hole, whatever, okay, that's all okay. The muffler shall not extend more than 2 inches past the chainsaw power head in any direction. So, no big expansion chamber exhausts. Anything else is fair game. I don't care what you want to do. I really don't. Design something. I like the pipe mufflers, you know. I like them. But you've got to keep it within the dimensions of the saw. It can stick out as much as 2 inches. But, you know, use your brains on this one. You know what I'm not wanting. I'm not wanting any fabricated expansion chamber exhausts. Okay? All saws will be operated by me, and videos will be posted in spectacular whack-off fashion. The first place winner will receive $400. All right, so that is a nice prize. Okay, there's like nothing out there for builders to get actual money. You go to these real races, and even the real races where people have $10,000 wrapped up in their chainsaws, and they might get lucky to have a $500 grand prize. So this is a very good, if you don't know, this is a very good prize for first place. Second place is a good prize as well. Whoever gets second place will get a complete running Echo 490 chainsaw. Maybe you want to do something with that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I got a lot of guys that probably would be like, I don't even want it. Well, if that's the case, then your prize will be given away in your name to one of the subscribers of the channel. Third place will get a back massage from Soft Hand Steve, if he ever sees you. Don't expect this one, guys. Not too many people would want it. But anyways, entry will require that you send me the saw by March 15th. Okay, the whack-off will take place on March 16th at my ranch here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want to come and watch this happen, if you want to come and watch me whack off, you're more than welcome to. I would love that. I would love to have subscribers and people just coming and hanging out. However, I will say this isn't going to be a big day where you get to run saws forever and stuff. I'm not going to have a bunch of wood. So typically with these get-togethers, a lot of people will bring, 10 or 20 chainsaws, and they want to run them all. I'm not going to have a whole bunch of wood for you to run them in. I will have some set up so that we can play, here and there stuff. Absolutely, but don't expect a great big get-together like some of the other stuff where we have a free-for-all and everybody just gets to cut everything. No, it's not going to be like that, sadly. I'm just not going to be able to set up for that. Also, the entry requires a $40 entry fee and $20 if you want me to mail your saw back to you. Okay, so that's $60 total, which if you're in this game, that's about as cheap as they come. I'm not in this to make any money off of anyone. I just want the challenge to hopefully pay for itself. And if this works, then we're going to do it again and again with multiple other saws. And what I suspect is this is going to work great because these builders, for one, if you're willing to build a saw and send it to me and pay a $40 entry fee and $20 to get that back, what you've got is skin in the game. Okay? You've got skin in the game. You're going to be trying to win that $400 prize or the Echo 490, right? And nothing excels progress like competition. And that's my goal here. I want people to figure out what it takes to get these chainsaws awesome. All right. So, let's see. All saws, let's see. No. Oh, all saws without return shipping fee. They will be kept and given away to viewers on the channel. Again, I don't have a desire. This isn't me trying to finagle a way to get a whole bunch of free Husky 55 ranchers. No, this is a way for me to ensure that if you want your saw back, you get it back. All right, I can't pay for everybody's shipping, but I use pirate ship, and usually anywhere in the country is going to cost just $20, under $20, $15. I got to buy the cardboard box and stuff like that, but I'm not making any money at all, and I'm probably not going to lose any money because most of the time I can ship a saw to someone for around $15. So the $20 return fee is required if you want your saw back. I think that's about it. So, yeah, again, to reiterate why I'm doing this, number one, it's fun. It's good content. I like doing different things on my channel. All right. But also, everybody's got a 55. And if you don't, you should. All right. And I want to see what people can come up with to make these things really killer. Okay. Not using the closed port cylinder. Some people are going to have a hard time with that. Well, if you are the kind of person that has a hard time with that, well, I'm sorry. I want everybody to be happy and be able to have fun with the build and everything. But those closed port cylinders are extremely difficult to come by. It's extremely difficult to come by. So, yeah, I don't want you to use those because there's only a handful of people that are even going to be able to get their hands on one. And so that would just really limit who can succeed. And I don't like that. However, I've got all kinds of ideas in my head of how to get around that, but I'm not going to tell you what those are. That's your job. You need to figure out how to get around this idea that you have to use an open port cylinder, right? And that's the rule, okay? You have to use an open port cylinder for this build, okay? I'm not going to go into that any further. Figure it the fuck out, I want to give away tips and tricks and stuff, but if I do that, then it's pointless, okay? This isn't me telling you how to build a saw. I want you to figure it out. You've got the boundaries. Now go run with it and do something fucking cool, man. There's a lot of stuff that could be happening with these 55 ranchers with the rules that I have laid out. Okay? I don't give a shit what you do to that cylinder as long as you started with an open port cylinder. That's it. Do anything else you want. I don't fucking care. If you, want to do something goofy as hell, go for it. If you just want to build a solid saw that's going to work and be a good runner, go for it. I don't care. All right. But yeah, that's it. March 16th is when it's going to take place. So if you want to come and hang out, please do. It'll be cool. The whole day is going to be dedicated to the Husky 50, 51, and 55. And we're going to be running them. I'm going to be doing all the actual whack off. I will have probably pine. That's pretty easy for me to get down here. I'll probably find, like a 15-foot, couple 15-foot logs of just loblolly pine, and I'll put them on my mill and square them off. However big I can get that, I'll get it. If I can get a 16-inch log, squared off, I can do that. I'll do that. If I can get two 12 by 6ers, I'll stack them up, do whatever I can. Maybe I'll have for the dog end, for the vice grip move where I'm actually applying pressure, maybe I'll have a big chunk of oak that I'm running. And whatever. Everything's going to get a fair shake. They're all going to be running in the same wood, and nothing I will put it on my sawmill and square them up so that it's all the same size. And I'll try and keep this as fair as possible. Sometimes I stumble, right? If I stumble, I will do a recut on that. So this isn't about me and me being a good sawyer. I will get 3 good cuts from each and every chainsaw, unless the saw itself fails. All right, I'll get good clean cuts on all of them. And then, of course, you'll see the magic of the whack-off take place, and all of the saws will be showcased on the channel in a spectacular whack-off. All right, last thing. I have 3 chassis that I am willing to give away. Okay, one of them I believe is already claimed by Garrett. Garrett, if you still want it, make it known in the comments. Okay, and then the other 2 are open game. The first people that say that they want them for this competition, all right, I will send them to you. However, there are stipulations with those. If you are building one of my chassis, then you will be required to leave it with me so that I can give it away to subscribers. Okay? So, but if you do that, I'm going to waive the entry fee. Okay? No entry fee if you take one of my chassis and build it. So the one that's going to Garrett, assuming that he still wants it, right, is a complete and running one. You have seen it on the channel. I put a Chinese cylinder on it and a Chinese coil as well. It was the one that needs anti-vibe mounts on the front, but I have the anti-vibe mounts. So whoever, the first person, and I'm assuming it's Garrett still, will be getting that chainsaw, and I'll send the anti-vibe mounts with him and everything. The second person will get what I believe is a complete chassis, probably got a fried piston and cylinder, you know. And then the third one is a hodgepodge. I'm pretty sure it's missing the flywheel. I know it does not have a piston and cylinder on it, as well as I don't think it has carburetor, any of that stuff. So you might not want that one. Unless you're you're okay with that, you just want a good clean chassis, and you're okay with buying I mean, you could buy, if you bought Chinese parts for it, you could have everything to make that run probably for $50. So, anyways, if you want those, right, email me, bodiechainsaws@gmail.com, right? Email me and say, I would like to do one of those builds. Okay, one of your chassis. I'll send it to you. You'll have plenty of time to build it, get it turned back around, sent to the channel. The one drawback to doing that is you won't get it back. All right, you will not get it back because that will be a giveaway saw for subscribers to the channel. Okay. Good luck to everybody out there. So far, I know of. Well, Garrett Barker has already committed to building at least one. He might build two, okay? So Garrett Barker, he's already committed. Matt House is committed. TW, he's committed. A few other people that I'm not familiar with committed on Facebook. Did I say Matt House is committed? Ethan Trainer will probably build one. So we're already close to the 10 mark. If we get 20, we get 20. This is great. This is great. But 10 is the magic number that I want. If I can get that, then this competition will pay for itself pretty much, I mean, anyways. And if this works like I think it's going to, then we're going to up the ante for a second round. We'll probably do the Echo 590 and do a build off with it. And I'm hoping, if this works, if this really works well, right, I want to do $1,000 first place prize on the 590. So get your wheels spinning on that right there. And until we meet again, good luck to everybody, and I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to do everything I can on my end to make this an excellent little adventure, and I hope that you guys are down with competing as well. I mean, even if you're just building a nice solid little saw, $60, okay, $60 total, right, if you want the saw back. So $40 entry fee, $20 return shipping fee, and that's it. That's all you got to put up. That is the most affordable way to get into racing, period. And there's a lot of channels out there that would like to piggyback onto the success of this. And, of course, all the credit will be doled out in the description and everything, and people will be tagged for their channels. And let's have fun with it, Let's have fun. That's all it's all about. Having fun, and actually it's an educational adventure too, to find out what these things need in order to make them really scream. Take good notes And because I'll be wanting those notes on what you did, where your intake is, did you go for volume or what? Did you do a timing advance? What did you do? I want to be able to really go back and people to see what was successful. Okay. That's enough. Later.